Welcome to my space. Let's take 3 deep breaths together, gathering your energy back on the in-breaths. On the exhale, see if you can spiral down into a safer, slower space inside your body. Preferably your root, your womb, your pelvic bowl. Here we go. Deep breath in. Deep breath in. Feel free to wiggle, yawn, sigh on the way down into that deeper, slower space. Deep breath in. Feel your roots. I am here. Welcome. So, a couple weeks ago, my last video I posted was around being in the void, and I was right smack dab in the middle of a void space. I was looking at a lot of lineage shit. I am the cycle breaker. I'm one of the cycle breakers in my family line for both my mother line and my father line. And I've been doing that work inside of myself because I love it and because I'm called to it and because I've been running from it. And then I've owned it and all sorts of things around that. And I hit this winter and spring have been another cycle into a deeper layer of breaking that cycle and allowing a new template to come forward. Actually, it started last May, a year ago, on the day before Mother's Day. And that's a story for another time that I'll tell later. But I started a year-long cycle of meeting some of the darkest, deepest, grossest shit, specifically in my mother line, and feeling it in my bones and meeting it in face to face inside myself, like all this dark shadow stuff coming through from my mother line. And it's been a really hard year because that's the stuff I've been alchemizing. I've been meeting it in shadow work. I've been meeting it in body work. I've been meeting it in sisterhood. I've been moving it, sounding it, breathing it through so that a new template can come through. And and then I hit this void space again, and it was brutal. I was hearing all the lies. I was right in it, but as I've shared in some of these videos and with my practices, I have this different consciousness this time around this cycle where I am here and I am noticing this part that's up and I am noticing this shadow and I am noticing and I'm holding. Yes, I'm feeling it in my body and in my experiences, but I'm also holding it in this I am noticing and this loving awareness. So for those of you who've walked any of this, you know it's a dual scenario. Yes, I'm fine and I am noticing, but also all the parts of me, my body is releasing and my nervous system is releasing, and there's grief, there's human emotion, human experience moving through me at the same time that I'm being able to feel the anchor and hold it all in loving awareness while it's happening. So it's a lot more messy than just sitting and meditating my way through the void. Um, and I want to say that like the process that I teach and the process that I think is the feminine embodiment of being human and divine is messy. And if you don't want mess, then I suggest you stay with your patriarchal ascension only models that hold everything in and try and transmute it in silence and stillness. If that's what you need, go for it. That is not what I teach. I teach the embodiment of your humanity and your divinity, and it looks messy and it can feel crazy sometimes. But I've done this long enough now personally, and I've held containers for women and for clients long enough that I know that this is a way to alchemize deep, deep lineage wounds, deep personal wounds. It's magical, but it's also you being fully alive in your humanity while staying connected to this anchor of your divinity. So, 2 weeks ago, I was in the center of the void. And I think maybe I didn't go back and watch that video, but I think maybe I was actually even saying things like, I know I'm just supposed to sit here and let all the monsters and the inner demons and the shadows catch me, right? Like all the running in that I do to stay away from the dark things. And in this void space a couple weeks ago, I was knowing it was important for me to face it, to let it all be right here, to feel it, breathe it, move it, sound it, allow it, and hold it in loving awareness. And that's what I was doing. But what's funny about this, funny, not funny, is that I actually in 3D reality. So as I made that video, I was like meeting all these demons and shadows and doing the work in this imaginal realm through my body. What I was not prepared for was the demon or the monster to show up in my fucking living room and meet my one of my biggest fears in flesh and watch the situation, the tables turn and the story change, and to see all of the work that I have done over the last decade for sure, maybe for sure even longer, um, bear fruit in person with an externalized version of the monsters that I was meeting in my head. I will not tell that story here because it involves a lot of personal information I don't really feel like giving to all of you. If you are interested in hearing that story, there's one of two ways that you can hear it. You can either get on my online, private online Cauldron and the Feast platform, and I will put that link at the bottom of this. It's a wild women community, and that's the place where I feel like the people that join that community are knowing that they're wanting to go into the deeper places inside themselves, or to just sit on the edge and watch what it means for other people to live out their personal myth. And a lot of them are also called to being lineage shifters or pattern breakers for their family lines. Not all of them, but many of them. The other way that you can have access to that is if you know me and you want to message me, I would be willing to consider letting that video go out to specific people with permission. And if you're really super interested, you can either contact me for that video or just contact me. And I don't mind sharing the story. It's just not for everyone right now. So, um, just know 2 weeks ago, I was in the void, literally met the monster in my living room, changed the story dynamic, and it ended in a way that was different than I have ever met this kind of monster before. I was empowered. My kids were empowered. We had our fuck yes, our fuck no. We felt embodied as we were managing this really terrible situation. And all of us feel different. Now, I will say too that I was empowered in the moment. I stood my ground. My kids were standing with me. Um, but my body has never faced that in this way, this kind of violation in this way. And so for the last week, I've literally been processing it through my nervous system, through my body, helping my body with all the practices that I hold with everyone else and all the practices that I teach, helping my body downregulate. I've been doing a lot of shaking. I'm letting the cry come forward. I'm letting the rage move through. I have diarrhea and I never have that issue. Like my body is purging the intensity of that moment. And I want to say that because like on this side of it, I'm caring for my body in a way that I needed to all through my childhood that nobody could do. And I'm letting like layers of this activation move through so that I can land the new story that I am empowered, that I have myself, that I have a community of people who have my back, that Yeah. So this is a big, giant thing. If you are a person who's working lineage wounds, if you are a person who is determined to break patterns inside of yourself and allow new patterns to emerge, I believe that those can be met head on, and the process of dissolving old patterns and emerging new ones is it's a big deal. So if you're down for that adventure and you want some support, or you're just curious, you can jump on my Wild Women Cauldron and the Feast. You can contact me for a body, mind, spirit therapy session, and we move super, super slow and gently in that container. Or you can drop into a wild womb wisdom initiation coaching package. That's where we drop into the deep, and I do it at the speed of safety for your body, but we meet it head on, and we find the courage within and the truth within to bring your truth and your voice and your story forward in a way that shifts your sphere of influence, but also even your lineage and the patterns that are being set forward and backward. So woof, I was rebirthed, not in the way that I wanted to be, but I am out of the void. I will tell you that much. And I feel a new fire. I feel a new vision. I feel new empowerment. Thank you for those who have reached out and said, "Hey, are you okay?" Yes, I'm okay. And I'm also processing. So, woof, life is crazy. If you need a little extra holding in your journey, I would be delighted to do that, or find a trusted friend, or go hang out in nature and let yourself be held by the earth and breathed by the breath and energized by the sun and flow with the water and moved by the crazy cosmos right now. It is actually crazy. So let's take 3 deep breaths, close this container. Don't take any of my stuff with you. Bring yourself all the way back in. First breath is for you. Second breath is for sharing this space with me. Third breath is to close and leave what is here to leave. But if you would like to stay connected in the roots, there is that invitation. So deep breath in for you. Deep breath in for me. And deep breath in to close this moment, but feel free to stay connected in the roots if you would like. Thank you. Thanks for being here. I will return. I hope you will too.